There are 12 exercises from the book. We've changed the order slightly. So I see you all have the book, I hope you do, which is a beautiful book. We're not going to follow the order exactly, we're changing it. So if you have already had more jobs or businesses than your parents. Quite a few, okay, all right. The reason we got into this idea about personal branding is that for our parents, personal branding in most cases was not important. So the idea is that you already have a brand. So some people say, well, I'm not going to brand myself. And we say, well, you already have a brand. And this is what Jeff Bezos said, the founder of Amazon. He said, your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. Okay, so if they say nothing, you have a problem. What's really important later on is who knows you. So in many cases, to be very successful in your job or business, the idea is that if you have a strong brand, it will help you to move through the stages in your life. And that could be, as we said before, it could be changing job, or changing company, or changing sector. It could be you do some more study and you come back to work. It could be having children, going back to work. It could be starting your own business. We're going to talk about your talents. So these are the abilities, the natural abilities that you were born with. And we're going to talk about your values, so what you believe is important. And we're going to talk about your purpose. What is your purpose in life? And this is the talents exercise. Now, the talents are a natural ability to do something well. So the principle is that when we are born, we all have certain talents. And when we grow up, we have certain talents. And right now, we cannot change them. So these talents, then they turn into skills, like you become an accountant or a teacher or a lawyer or a coach or something. They become skills, but those skills are all based on talents which are much older and they're fundamental. So on your way here, my guess is that you noticed some buildings, but you did not notice others. And so what I'm trying to suggest to you is that we are all like buildings. So you can be a grey building that nobody notices, or you can be like the Hungarian parliament. Okay, so the first exercise is digging a hole to figure out what your talents are. Sorry, the second exercise. Talents chapter. And there are some interesting questions in here. Here we go, it's exercise A. Exercise A, and you'll see there's some questions to ask yourself. So when you think about each high point, one question is, which talents was I using the most? So which natural abilities was I using when I had that high point? Okay? Another question is, how was I using them? Where was I using them? You know, was I abroad? Was I in Hungary? Was I at work? Was I at home? What was it? And then another interesting question is, who was I with when I was using them? You know, some of our talents, welcome to the new people, some of our talents come out at school, some of them come out later. Well, I thought it was difficult to be different. And then you have a marketing problem, because how do people, why do they choose me? It's very important to be in those first two. And one way you can be different is by drawing in talents that you've kind of allowed to go to sleep. When you see qualities that in people that you admire, this gives you a very strong clue to your values. So the next stage of the building, we have the talents which are in the hole in the ground, then we have the values which are the foundations of the building, and now we're going to talk about the unique combination of skills and experience. The idea is that everybody has a purpose. Now, I didn't realize this for a long time, but Albert Einstein said, "Strange is our situation here on Earth. Each of us comes here for a short time, not knowing why, yet somehow seeming to divine a purpose." So for a long time, I wasn't clear about my purpose, but I used to have a feeling, this thing I'm doing here is fantastic, I love doing this, and sometimes I kept thinking, there must be more to life than this, you know, or
I can't believe I've come to this planet to do this. Is that great? So the reason that we do this exercise is that most people are very concerned about paying the bills and paying for their house and paying for their children's education and all these things. And a lot of people think that if they carry on doing this for so many years, one day they will do what they really want to do, like when they retire or something. And unfortunately, a lot of people never get there. So 2 days ago, it's very sad, I'm 48, and I read in the newspaper that someone I kind of remember from university died aged 48. And I think he was natural causes, he just had a heart attack or something in the office, and that was it. And so there are many people who never reach their dream because they are working away, doing the everyday things. What I'd like to know is, in Hungary, do you use that thing called Maslow's hierarchy?
Yes.
Okay? With the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you have food and water and shelter and social needs, and then right at the top, you have what they call, in English, they call self-actualization. Okay? Which is you feel fantastic about what you're doing. That self-actualization is pretty much the same thing as the high points. So if you kept on having high points a lot, that's effectively self-actualization. You know, when you do something, you lose track of time because you love it so much. And David, my co-author, he came up with something which I think is really powerful, and I'm surprised it hasn't spread further. What he says is, you should start at the top of Maslow's pyramid. So most of us, like me, you get the job in the bank, you get the mortgage, you buy a house, you start buying furniture. We've been taught to do this, and he says, no, don't do that. Figure out your purpose and start at the top, because everything else gets much easier. And you will enjoy your life, and you'll probably make a lot more money.